waiting for what will happen today in today's court proceeding. What do you think will happen today?
Of course, the cross-examination continues. There's no doubt about that. The international and the local and the national media need to be very careful at this point in time, because definitely truth must prevail. The story making run has also been denied by Nnamdi Kanu's personal counsel, Aloy Jimako, has also been denied. The narrative has been denied too by the IPOB spokesperson, Emma Powerful. The family too has come out to take a stand that there was no time. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu admitted in the court over incitement has been peddled in other media.
Nnamdi, you just brought yourself into
Resume hearing, the court took a firm stance on trial procedures following confusion over legal representation and tensions surrounding courtroom conduct. A letter from one Charles Ude, claiming to be Mr. Kanu's lawyer, sparked the court's concern, but lead defense counsel Kanu Agabi, senior advocate of Nigeria, disassociated the team from Ude's claim, with Kanu affirming that Agabi remains his official legal representative. In a bid to maintain order, the presiding judge stressed that only 16 counsel out of the 26 listed will be recognized in court. The court also addressed a past infraction involving Favor Kanu, a relative of Mr. Kanu, who had recorded court proceedings in violation of directives. The court revealed she had also posted the content online. Mr. Kanu appealed for leniency on her behalf. The judge, however, barred her from attending the next 3 sittings. The trial continued with the cross-examination of the first prosecution witness, identified as AAA. The witness admitted to being unaware that several terrorism charges against Mr. Kanu had been struck out by the court. He also lacked knowledge of the current status of many of the original 15-count charges. The second prosecution witness, identified as BBB, testified that he was assigned by the Attorney General of the Federation to investigate Mr. Kanu. He described the defendant as the operator of Radio Biafra and the founder of the Eastern Security Network. Attempts by the prosecution to tender a letter authorizing the witness' investigation met stiff resistance from Mr. Agabi, who objected on the grounds that the documents were not front-loaded. The prosecution later withdrew the document, and the court granted the withdrawal. The trial also saw disagreement over the admissibility of video evidence presented by the prosecution, which Mr. Kanu himself opposed. The court ordered that all materials intended for trial must be served in advance and listed properly, stressing that no document to be admitted unless previously disclosed to the defense. On a separate issue, the prosecution said it has filed a motion for the release of certain items already tendered as exhibits. The court directed that the motion must be refiled, with each exhibit explicitly identified and properly referenced. While the prosecution expressed readiness to proceed with the trial for 3 consecutive days as previously planned, Mr. Agabi requested an adjournment to allow for client consultation. The matter was adjourned to May 7 for the continuation of trial, specifically for the examination in chief of the second witness. Celestina Iria, TVC News, Abuja.
Another place. No. He will come in. We're greeting his family members. What was this?
Good morning, everybody. How are you? How are you? Morning, brothers. Who is my gang? No. Not very well. I have an infection with the second. Okay, very well.
Chica, ya está.
houses. And of course, the DSS must understand at this very clearly that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be put in a fix where we know actually what transpired. I thank God that the process of procedural process of the court was shut down by James Omotosho himself when the DSS themselves failed to take normal procedure. Then how can the media come up and say Nnamdi Kanu Tinubu 100 million we can work when they know actually that there is something that happened in Igbo? There is this agenda of Igbophobia everywhere in Lagos. The fact that the Igbos are being squeezed economically, socially, and otherwise. So the reaction of what the government has already put in place is what is being targeted as a kind of incitement. That's what I'm saying. That I think it will go to the it comes to the point that the Igbo people themselves should start calling for public coverage, live coverage of the proceedings in the court between Nigerian government and of course Nnamdi Kanu, because so that people will be able to have first-hand information on what is actually going on. You can see Nnamdi Kanu, he's not shaking, he's focused. He knows that the victory is going to come at last. But from what I'm seeing in Omotosho, and we know where he's coming from. We know he's godfathers, and I can tell you, Nnamdi Kanu is not somebody you can just toy with. And there's no crime. Nnamdi Kanu have not committed any crime. The people that committed crime against Nnamdi Kanu are the Nigerian government, and they should take responsibility of that. Nnamdi Kanu is going to face trial, and is already doing that. We are seeing this morning today, he has already appeared in court. And you can see the development, people all over the world, from delegates from different parts of the country, are already in Abuja, are observing, are trying to understand, the direction this, cross-examination is still going. And also, remember, some of these things has legal interpretation. And when you look at it very well, they are bringing videos and showing funny, illegal presentation of incitement against the people by Nnamdi Kanu. But I can tell you, if actually going to do that, how many count charges have they presented against Nnamdi Kanu? The process has already been faulted by James Omotosho. And I think at the end of the day, he's going to trash any irrelevant that's attached to this. The Yoruba media should stop celebrating what they don't know. What did not transpire in the court, they will publish it. That is unfortunate, and we should not allow that to happen. And that is why we are asking, let there be public coverage, live coverage of Nnamdi Kanu trials in the court.
Okay, but also, being played in that video clip was he accused the Southeast governors of working for the Fulani Caliphate. He said these people, Opus Odima in particular, was the one that brought the Fulanis, to the Southeast. Do you agree with him saying that the Southeast governor working for the
We
Fulani
must
Caliphate?
understand very clearly that there's something that happened in the Igbo. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was not the person that created NSAS. NSAS was created as a result of the ills, brutality of the system against his own people. And most of these things we have been targeted, and that is why it has come to the point that we are saying, if anywhere you are, you're an Igbo man, don't participate in anything that has to do with protests in Nigeria. Don't get yourself involved, because ethnic sentiment is going to play out completely, and that is what is happening. Look at how can somebody diagnose himself that's an Igbo man because of politics. He's killing his own people to please the Fulanis. Look at what wicked, and you expect somebody like Mazin Nnamdi Kanu not to make a statement in that regard. Look at what the Igbophobia in Lagos. So how does that not translate to the art of terrorism and Fulani that are killing people everywhere? Well, Opus Odima, I don't know. Your name has already been mentioned, and you know what transpired. You know how you came to power. You know how the Fulani factored you in Imo State, and you know the role you play. All your forgiveness will not be forgiven. Nobody's going to forgive you, Opus Odima, because you are part of the problem Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is facing now. And that is why there's no governor in the East anybody is going to be loyal to. If they like, let them do anything they like.
He's begging. He's begging.
Yes, he has been moving. I think he's a reverend father now. He has given his life to Christ. That's what he's trying to tell us. And he's preaching.
You think he knows?
Why shouldn't you know that you came out openly and told the whole world that the late Abba Kyari made you governor? So what is the reason of making you governor? You open the gates for Fulanis, and they are killing your own people. And all of a sudden, you just wake up one morning and discover that your tenure is almost gone, and you are seeking for forgiveness. You are going from one church to another. In fact, Osadima has talked to a reverend father, and you want to lead a certain peace movement, agreement to plead on Igbos to forgive them the role they played against Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. The reality of ground is that truth must prevail. It's never a crime to seek for self-determination of people whom has been pushed to the extent that they're almost going to extinction. That's the fact. What is the federal government talking about the killing in the entire country by the same people, and they're saying they are not going anywhere? Well, that's a fact we must understand this morning. And as you can see in the court, there's a similar relationship between Omotosho, the judge, the presiding officer, James Omotosho, and of course, the IPOB-led legal team. Kanu Akambi, they are very observant. They're watching the development as it goes. I don't know that this issue of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is going to receive a speedy trial. There's no arm, there's no weapon that has been found against Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Then, why keeping Nnamdi Kanu for 10 years and thereafter? The Nigerian government should understand this, that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has become a symbol, of Pan-Africanism. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu has become a symbol of hope for every 85, not even these Southeast governors. I'm telling you, because I don't understand why they should allow this kind of, impunity to be happening to somebody who has come to rescue his people and let the whole world know the plight of Igbo in every angle of Nigeria. That's the fact.
Okay. And lastly, we saw that he was accused of what violence and secession against moving away from Nigeria. That is the Biafran. But we saw Kanu Agabi said no, that is a political expression, and at the same time that is under the UN law that he has right to protest or talk as regards him the Igbos succeeding away from Nigeria.
Of course, it's political liberation. Of course, Igbos are you can see even the Southeast governors are saying that Igbos are marginalized. The funny man from Kanu there, who happens to be APC national chairman Gaduje, he said once you join APC there will be no marginalized. So the North knows actually that the Igbos are being marginalized. So it was a deliberate and calculated plan to make sure that there's this ongoing oppression and suppression against the Igbos. And somebody rose and started asking questions. He said the person has committed act of terrorism. That's that's why Nigeria cannot move forward. Because Nigeria does not like to understand what it means to move from one particular point to another. Igbos are naturally mobile people, and because of their nature, you do not expect them to continue to face political stagnation. It cannot happen. Then how does that translate to terrorism when we are seeing on a daily basis people who are carrying AK-47 and killing people everywhere, and you are saying the Igbos should sit down in one particular place and got killed? No, it cannot happen. The director of DSS, what did he say? That woman that is calling for armed struggle against Nigerian state, have they been arrested? Didn't you hear them saying that everybody should take up arms against the non-state actors in Nigeria?
Even the DSS boss.
So even the DSS boss, because they are not Igbos. We are watching because see, Nnamdi represent a deep symbol, and it represents the oppression and suppression. And I know that he is not going to look back. Whatever they like, let them jail him, no problem. Let them kill, no problem. But the fact still remains that Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, Biafra has become very much unstoppable.
Thank you very much.
Into the transcript of what transpired in court today. The flash drive that the federal government's team brought, so they played it in the court. And this is what was contained in the flash drive. Nnamdi Kanu is speaking in the video. A minute of silence for those who were killed defending our land. We will always be grateful for their bravery. A huge number of Biafrans were killed while the world turned its back. We will continue to honor those who lost their lives defending us. We shall always remember our fallen heroes. Britain gave weapons to the Fulanis to kill us despite introducing Christianity to us. He offers prayer for the fallen heroes that died. Wike placed a bounty of 50 million on a Biafran who committed no crime. I will offer 100 million to anyone who can bring Wike's head as well. The third audio, clips continue. Tomorrow, May 30th, we must honor them. A total lockdown, calm, and peace are needed. This day is vital for us. IPOB is a peaceful movement, but our enemies are plotting roadside killing. Nnamdi Kanu continues to say in the video, Biafra must remain blessed and secure as we remember our heroes. Full lockdown is important, so the enemy won't find an excuse to kill us and blame us. Fulanis will try anything to provoke our people. Let tomorrow morning be calm. The fifth audio clip of Nnamdi Kanu continues. Every Hausa land is now occupied by Fulanis. Years ago, they were Hausa Fulani. Now, they boldly identify as Fulani. Everyone knows Nigeria has collapsed. Imagine a Fulani threatening Yorubas. If you remove us from your forest, we will destroy you. Bandits have never been condemned or acknowledged. Yorubas are silent because of 2023 election. I told the Yorubas to rise and face the bandits. The longer you stay in one Nigeria, the more damage will be done to you. The court update continues. The video they are playing continues. Why are Fulanis in our forest? They claim to be pastoralists. Everyone in the north rents homes, but Fulanis dwell in the forest. These herders seize your farmlands, rape your wives, and all you do is to complain without action. Now, before the case was adjourned, the cross-examination resumes. Agabi asks the witness, do you see and confirm the document listing IPOB as proscribed group? The witness, BBB, say, yes, I confirm it. Defense interjects. That is Agabi. He said that proscription was made through an ex parte motion without IPOB legal representative. Now, the lead defense counsel, Agabi, raises no further objection and allowed the document to be submitted as an exhibit. Judge adjourned the proceedings to tomorrow, 8 May 2025, for the continuation of witness hearing and presentation of evidence. So, this is how the court process went today. Now, there is something DSS, I think if this is the center of the whole evidence they have, okay, let them bring it on. If this is the center of the whole evidence. If, for example, Nnamdi Kanu broadcast is the only evidence they have against him of what he said, wow. Wow. I thought I was thinking, honestly, that after the DSS told Nnamdi Kanu, or told the court, sorry, that they did not find anything incriminating on Nnamdi Kanu, I thought maybe they are going to, nail him to another, grievous crime other than broadcast. Anyway, let's see what is going to happen tomorrow. But according to Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, this is not aired. Okay? Everything they brought today will also be scrutinized tomorrow. So they are going to cross-examine the witnesses that came and ask them the question that they want to ask them. So after the question, then the judge will also decide what is going to happen. But as far as I am concerned, I am happy if this is the only evidence they have against Nnamdi Kanu. Now, according to the senior advocate of Nigeria, Agabi, Nnamdi Kanu's statement is of self-defense. If you listen to the video, I published the video yesterday, okay? Because I knew that was the video they are bringing to court. So you can go and listen to it. I published it yesterday evening. Now, if you see what Nnamdi Kanu said, he was talking about our people are dying, let us defend ourselves. Now, they accuse him of forming ESN. They said in your broadcast, you said you formed ESN. But Chief Kanu Agabi is telling them that this is the constitutional right of everybody. After all, you have been hearing the military, the DSS, telling you every community form vigilante and defend yourself. Anyway, what do I know? I'm not a lawyer, I am not a judge. We'll wait till everything finish and hear what the judge will say. But as far as I'm concerned, I am okay with what they are saying. I'm okay with what they are bringing before the court. But who knows? All we wish is let Nnamdi Kanu be free, because this is not crime. This is all about self-defense and the protection of his people. There is no doubt about that. There is no doubt about that. So if DSS is stressing that Nnamdi Kanu plays bounty on Wike's head, they fought it as well by Wike placing bounty on innocent citizens. So that is self-defense. That is what Agabi is trying to say, that everything Nnamdi Kanu said there, they are all self-defense. Let me know what you think about this. I'm Okocha P. myself, talking reality out of issues. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share our videos, and always come by for daily updates. Thank you.